Hello, Fitness Kooks! Welcome to your first training video for your Kooks Empowered program. I'm super excited, you guys. If you are listening to me or watching me while you're doing something else, that is okay. But I do want you guys to be taking notes, really paying attention. You can replay this video if you need, but a lot of these videos, I'm going to be giving you guys a lot of information for you all, just so I can educate you as much as I can. So like I said, feel free to take notes, feel free to rewatch, whatever it is, so that you guys can understand the information. So for your first training video, we are going to be talking about body type eating, okay? So this is a strategy that you guys can use that is going to help customize your food and your eating based on your body and your goals. So pretty much we kind of narrow it down to 3 different body styles. This is not set in stone, you guys, and you can kind of go back and forth between the different types, or kind of be like in between two, and that's totally fine. There's so many people on this planet, and you know, not everyone's gonna fall into these 3 categories, but these are good starting points for you guys, okay? So the 3 different kinds, we have number 1, which we call an ectomorph, number 2, which we call a mesomorph, and number 3, which we call an endomorph, okay? So these 3 different body type styles, they utilize food a little bit differently. Their main hormone structure that they use is a little bit different. The metabolism and the speed of the metabolism is a little bit different. So we're gonna talk about all of that, and then based on where you think you are right now, how you can kind of move forward and eat towards those goals. So you guys, this is something, like I said, you can either utilize right now while you're going through this Kooks Empowered program, or if you're someone who gets a little overwhelmed by taking your fitness into your own hands right away, I want you guys to follow the meal plans that I have put out for you guys, and then slowly, gradually work over towards body style eating, okay? So for number 1, for our ectomorph, so these are the people that we kind of categorize as the naturally thin people. They might have a little bit longer arms, legs, they just seem to always be skinny, or we can term kind of like, see people say like the skinny fat. No matter what they eat, they still kind of seem skinny. So the ectomorphs, they, excuse me, they have a high tolerance for their carbs, okay? So their body is naturally always just burning energy. They have a fast metabolism. They're usually always on the go. They are not like super hungry all the time. And for their hormone system that they use, they predominantly use the somatic nervous system, and then they're also thyroid dominant, okay? So that's number 1. So if that's kind of you, usually those are the people who are trying to gain weight, trying to put on some muscle, something like that, okay? So number 2 is gonna be our mesomorphs. So these are going to be kind of right in the middle between the 2. Mesomorphs are people who are a little bit more flexible. They have kind of like that naturally toned, muscular look. They're not necessarily super super thin or super bulky. They kind of lie in the middle. So mesomorphs, they are testosterone and growth hormone dominant. Their carb tolerance is roughly in the middle. So they can, you know, some days tolerate a high amount of carbs, other days not as much, but it's not as structured as the ectomorph or the endomorph. And then for their metabolism is flexible as well, just because the carb intake is a little bit flexible, okay? So these people are usually like people, like I said, are naturally muscular, naturally athletic looking. They do not have a hard time putting on muscle, and they can build pretty easily, okay? And then our last one is our endomorphs, okay? So our endomorphs are people who have a little bit more body fat percentage, and so they can either have long limbs, short limbs. It doesn't really matter. It's just kind of their body fat percentage is a little bit more. Okay, so excuse me. For an endomorph, they are the PNS or the peripheral nervous system dominant for their hormone structure, and they do not tolerate carbs as well as either the ectomorph or the mesomorph. Okay, for their metabolism, it's very slow because of the kind of lack of carb tolerance. So they are their body naturally doesn't want to burn energy. Okay, so those are the 3 types, you guys. So based on that, you guys do have the different meal plans and how to schedule out your meals based on what you think your body type is. Again, if this totally overwhelms you guys right now, you do not have to follow the body type eating right now. You can do the regular meal plans that I have put out, and then slowly work your way into these styles, okay? Now, I know as we're going through the program, as you're going through your journey, all this stuff, what happens is our body starts to change, okay? So a lot of times for our endomorphs, the reason why their metabolism is so slow, they can't tolerate carbs very well, is because of an excess amount of things that we're putting in our body. Okay, so I used to be a mesomorph, you guys. Now I'm more of I used to be an endomorph. Now I'm more of like a mesomorph. But I was an endomorph because I wasn't getting quality carbs in, so I was eating a lot of processed things. I was eating a lot of like cereals, processed granolas, pizzas, like stuff like that, so that my body didn't really understand how to like use my carbs. And because of that, my metabolism slowed down a little bit. But everything we are doing in this program is geared towards making sure that you guys are eating foods that will help increase your metabolism, that will help increase your satiety hormone, and that will help kind of get your metabolism going again, just based on food, you guys. That's simply just based on the foods that we eat. We can utilize and manipulate our metabolism, which is so cool. I love it. So like I said, if you think that you're one place but you're not really sure, you might be in between, definitely feel free to reach out to me and let me know. And don't be scared of these, you guys. I know people kind of like, oh, I'm like, they're almost afraid to say like, oh yeah, my body type is an ectomorph right now, or a mesomorph, or an endomorph, or whatever it is. That is okay. It's not a label, you guys. That's just how we kind of understand our body, so that we can understand our nutrition, so that we can understand what we need to be eating, so that we can get to our goals, okay? And so a lot of times I know some people come up to me as well, and they're like, well, like, she's an endomorph, but she's like healthy, or, you know, vice versa, or they're an ectomorph, but they eat whatever the hell they want. They must be healthy, right? No. So just because someone's an ectomorph and they can eat whatever they want doesn't mean that they're metabolically healthy. So yes, it might be cool to be an ectomorph for a little bit and eat all the donuts and pies and whatever you want for a while. But what's actually happening on the inside, we can't really see until a few years down. So, and vice versa. You can have an endomorph who has a little bit more body fat and doesn't have that naturally lean kind of look, but their metabolism is awesome. They're maybe like super athletic, they're healthy, all that stuff. So again, there's no set in stones with these, you guys. These are just things that we utilize so that we can customize for you, and that you have kind of like an idea of after this program, like, okay, so I'm still kind of in that like endomorph body type, so now I know how to eat towards that. And then after a certain amount of time eating towards that, and you start getting towards the mesomorph, now you know how to kind of change your diet. Because again, you guys, if you were eating literally the same thing for the rest of your life in the same way, you will never get to your goals. Like me personally, being a bodybuilder, being in the fitness industry, all that stuff, I'm constantly changing how I'm eating because my body is adapting to what I'm eating. My body is increasing my metabolic health, like all this stuff. So it's a good thing if we're constantly needing to change and customize and all that stuff. It shouldn't be something that scares you guys. I want you guys to feel empowered to be able to change all of your food and stuff like that, and know that it's the correct change and whatnot. So that is your week number 1 Kooks Breakthrough learning video. And so if you guys have questions, please let me know. Like I said, if you need to rewatch, take notes, whatever it is, totally feel free to do that. But once you guys are done watching this video, I want you to like this video and then comment down below done, so that I know that you are watching and learning with everyone in this group. Okay, so as always, you guys, make sure you're having that Kooks mindset. This is all, everything we're doing in here is for your guys' future self, to help prepare you for after this program, to help prepare you so you don't always need me, and that you feel comfortable enough in making healthy food decisions based on your goals. So, all right, guys, I will see you next week for week number 2. Have a great day. Bye.